I had a hazaka of losses. One was a guy who was like my father, who accelerated my journey into Orthodox Judaism. Literally, he's like, keep showing up to work because you're going to this conservative shul. You're going to have to find people that pray earlier. And it was the Orthodox Jews davening Nates, you know what I'm saying? And then I lost a close friend of mine, CT related, NFL superstar. And then I had a friend that took his life on his birthday. Walked off the bridge in the area that we grew up. And this for sure devastated me because I reflected on all the times that he was reaching out. I didn't chop. I didn't translate what he was saying, you know? And I wanted to say something anyways, but then what he said to me affirmed that what I wanted to say ties to actually the Ushpizin for the evening, which we also spoke about, right? Yaakov Avinu. And what was the halacha that Yaakov Avinu was talking to Yosef Atzadik about before he went off on his life-changing journey that changed the trajectory of the nation? He's talking about Egla Rufa, no? And there's this concept of when you're walking out with your guest, you walk with them at least, Dalit Amos, which is not so far, right? But you're walking them out. Now, I'm from the trenches. So if someone visits a neighborhood that they're not from, and you just find yourself outside, and you don't have anyone that vouch for you as to why you're outside in that area, this could be the end. So I already understood the mitzvah of walking somebody out, right? Because otherwise you're getting your head topped, you know what I'm saying? So there's an understanding of, hey, you're going with this person to let the rest of the community know, like, hey, it's one of our guys, it's my folks. But I heard an interesting drash when I was in Queens about what's the real like kesher behind walking somebody out. You're only going Dalai Lama, so it's not so far. And maybe someone's got a long journey ahead of them, but you're walking them out to say, hey, I don't know what the journey's going to be like for you once we part ways. But I want you to know you're not alone. I want you to know I'm with you. And what do they say we have to do if we find a body just out? The rabbi's going to come out and say, like, we didn't kill him. I mean, Rabbi, you don't got hands like that. We know you didn't kill the guy. But what was he really saying? Like, we did all we could. We did all we could for this person to let him know you're welcome, And if you think about it, Yosef Atzadik was headed off on a journey where his own brothers, his brethren, right? People talk about like black on black crime. You know what's higher than black on black crime, or as high? White on white crime, Mexican on Mexican crime, Irish on Irish crime. Crimes are committed by people that are close to each other. This is human nature, you know what I'm saying? Which is the point that I'm headed to. But his brothers sold him into captivity. Oh, your mother was different than my mother. They had a lot of that, which ties to something else that I'm going to speak about. Thrown in a pit, sold into captivity, and all this was designed by Kadosh Baruch Hu to look out for the people. So what Yosef Atzadik had to experience wasn't even really about him. His challenges were to make sure everyone else would be comfortable. Sometimes what you're going through in life isn't about you. Sometimes the pains that you're feeling, nothing to do with you. It's to make sure the other people whose paths you cross are then good. Right? So Yosef goes on this crazy journey. And when finally, it's so crazy, I've maybe had one unique Torah idea. I sat in front of a gal, in front of her family. She's like, oh, this is good. I said, this guy went to yeshiva, you know what I'm saying? But it was that, like, when Yosef is sitting in front of his brothers, mind you, he's got 11 brothers. And they're saying his brothers didn't recognize him. Impossible, bro. Same dad, couple different moms. You don't recognize the guy? His speech, his body language, his facial expressions, his postures, they don't recognize him? No, they didn't want to acknowledge him. They didn't want to recognize the fact that the guy that we thought was going to bottom out ended up bubbling up. We don't recognize him. I don't recognize the guy. Can't be my brother. Must be somebody else. Right? 11 guys that look like each other standing there, looking at the mirror like, I don't see a resemblance. You know what I'm saying? Impossible. Having dinner together the whole nine, no one's like, I swear that, no, right? They don't want to recognize them because that's what your brothers do. They see how you make this trauma look good. You take the challenges that God put in your life and you make it look so beautiful. People are wishing for your traumas. Wish I was that guy. Right? So at the end of the day, when it's finally uncovered, what does Joseph send back to let his father know? I'm alive. But what was he really saying? He was saying, Abba, on that crazy journey and all those challenges and obstacles I faced, I knew I wasn't alone. Because the halacha you taught me, and when you walked me those Dalet Amos, I knew you were with me. So when I faced situations that would have taken me out, I was able to stand tall. Right? So I say that because there's a certain deficiency in human beings. We want to be right. And Jews are supposed to do what's right first, so it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But everyone's going through life like, yeah, I'm the blue coat, and the first coat was blue. And you're gray, you're pink, you're violet, you're red, you're khaki, you're not blue. And we're all moving through life like that. Not understanding how much it would take to look at a guy and say, hey, first coat might have been velvet. I saw a crazy moment by a kid supposed to be special needs. I don't even know how you're supposed to call it. I got one eye, I got flat feet, I got vitiligo. You know what I'm saying? What are they going to say about me? In any event, his brothers try to one-up the guy. Try to one-up the guy in my presence. His brothers Talmud Chacham, trying to one-up the special needs guy. And I'm in the room. He says, Zachariah, can you believe what this guy's saying? The special needs guy who knows all my music, so he can't be special needs. You know what I'm saying? Looks at me, then looks at him and says, could be. Changed my life. I don't ever have to argue again. Could be. It's my auto response. This guy took a moment of someone trying to belittle him and was like, you're probably right. And he's the special needs guy. I'm saying that to say, how many of us on this planet are going through life taking versus giving? There's someone else in need. They might not look like it, but it's evident in how they're showing up. And what do we say? I don't got it. I'm not giving. I'm not giving to that. When we could say, you may be right. There's a power that you have. You know, you can spot a wealthy person, they're giving. That's how you know they got it. They're giving. So if Hashem runs the world, and how's that tied to Sukkot? As I've said, a few people have said a few times, the sukkah is permanent. If you understand what the ending of the sukkah is the Shekhinah, the crowd of glory. God's saying, hey, I got you covered. So if God's got you covered and you see someone else, you're going to need to take? You're not going to give them some shade? You're not going to give them some covering? You got the Shekhinah over you and you're going to leave that person hanging? God forbid. No, you say, you know what? Hey, my man, you look a little warm over there. You know? It's cool, bro. Show a little love. We each have that power. And that's supposed to be what we're doing. If you are who you say you are, why you don't act like it? If you are the light, why are you not shining on other people? Imagine being a candle. It's 11 candles next to you, and you see this other wick, and you say, can't believe that guy's not lit. You could light it. Yeah. When you get to Shemaim, what do you think they're going to ask you? Did you see that wick? Yeah, you see that wick? You didn't do anything? So I'm going to give everyone here a bracha, you know what I'm saying? That you should understand the power that you possess is reflective in the actions that you take. The power that you have is representative in those that you empower. The Torah is not made up of charismatic leaders. It's transformational ones. Those that change everybody around him. And all of a sudden he looks like he's in the back of the line. And it really may be the front. Because he empowered everyone else to feel like they're leading the way. May everyone here go forward in a way that empowers, strengthens, enlivens, and invigorates. And if you know who you are, you should feel conviction in helping someone else believe that they are who they say they are. You know what I'm saying?
Amen. Amen.